The autumn wind swept through the streets of Chicago, painting the sidewalks with amber and rust-colored leaves. The city was buzzing, but inside our home, there was a heaviness that had nothing to do with the weather. My name is Melissa Carter, a mother, a wife, and someone who once believed that family was a fortress that could never crumble. But life has a way of shaking that belief when you least expect it. Part 1. The Perfect Image. For years, I thought I was living in the kind of life people admire from the outside. My husband, Daniel Carter, was a successful architect with a reputation that spread across the Midwest. We lived in a comfortable house on the northern side of the city, in a neighborhood filled with families who waved at each other as they walked their dogs. Our son Ethan was 17, a thoughtful kid who loved photography. He wasn't the loud or rebellious type most parents worried about. Instead, he carried his camera everywhere, capturing sunsets, architecture, even moments at the dinner table when he thought no one was looking. From the outside, we were perfect. But perfection is often a mask. Part 2. The cracks begin. Daniel started coming home late. At first, it was easy to believe his excuses. Projects at work, meetings that stretched into the night, deadlines that couldn't wait. But my instincts whispered something else. I noticed the way his eyes darted when I asked questions, the way his phone was always locked, and how he carried the faintest trace of perfume that didn't belong to me. I wanted to ignore it. I wanted to believe that we were stronger than temptation. But suspicion gnawed at me in quiet moments, especially when Ethan looked at his father with admiration. I didn't want his world to collapse the way mine was starting to. Part 3. A photograph that changed everything. It was a Saturday afternoon when Ethan asked if I could help him organize his portfolio. He was applying to an art program in New York, and he wanted my opinion on the shots he had taken around the city. We sat in the living room, scrolling through images on his laptop. "Mom," he said softly, "I caught something the other day. I wasn't sure if I should show you." My heart skipped. "What do you mean, Ethan?" He hesitated, then opened a folder. There it was, a picture of Daniel, sitting in a downtown cafe, holding hands with a woman I had never seen before. The woman's smile was radiant, and the intimacy between them was undeniable. I gasped, covering my mouth. "When did you take this?" 2 weeks ago, Ethan admitted, his voice trembling. "I was downtown for a project. I didn't know if I should tell you. I just didn't want to hurt you." Tears blurred my vision. My son, my gentle boy, had seen what I had feared all along. Part 4. Holding it together. I whispered, "Son, take it easy." My voice was shaky, but I tried to steady it. "This isn't your burden to carry." Ethan's eyes filled with tears. "But Mom, I couldn't keep it from you." I thought maybe I was wrong, but then I saw them again near Millennium Park. I reached over, pulling him into my arms. "You did the right thing. You're brave for telling me. But I don't want you to carry the weight of your father's choices. That's mine to face." In that moment, I realized how fragile trust was, and how strong love between a parent and child could be. My son was protecting me, even when it broke his heart. Part 5. Confrontation. That night, I waited for Daniel. When he walked through the door, late as always, I didn't greet him with a smile. Instead, I laid the photograph on the kitchen table. His face went pale. "Melissa, I can't explain." I held up my hand. "No lies, Daniel. Not this time." For a moment, silence hung between us like a thick fog. Finally, he admitted, "I made a mistake. I didn't mean for it to go this far." Anger and sorrow welled up inside me. "You didn't mean to betray your family? To break your son's heart when he looks at you?" He saw you, Daniel. He saw everything. The shame in his eyes was undeniable. But apologies couldn't erase what had already been burned into our lives. Part 6. Picking up the pieces. The weeks that followed were some of the hardest I'd ever lived through. Daniel moved into the guest room while we figured out whether our marriage could survive. Ethan withdrew into his art, using his camera as a shield from the pain around him. One night, I found him in his room, surrounded by prints of his photographs. He looked up at me and whispered, "Mom, I'm scared. I don't want our family to fall apart." I sat beside him, brushing his hair back like I used to when he was little. Families go through storms, Ethan. Some break, some bend. But love, real love, can rebuild if both people fight for it. Part 7. A New Beginning. Months passed. Counseling sessions became routine. Daniel worked to regain my trust, and though wounds remained, small threads of hope began to stitch themselves back together. Ethan was accepted into the art program in New York, and when we dropped him off at the airport, I hugged him tightly. "I'm proud of you, son. You've been my strength through all of this." He whispered back, "You taught me that even when life falls apart, love can guide us." Epilogue. Today, when I look back on that chapter of our lives, I don't see only betrayal. I see resilience. I see the bond between a mother and her son, tested and proven unbreakable. Infidelity broke the illusion of perfection, but it also taught me something invaluable. Truth hurts, but silence destroys. And sometimes the quietest whisper, "Son, take it easy," is what carries us through the storm.